Midwinter's Night's Dram for 2022 has dropped. The 10th edition of High West sought after limited release. A Midwinter Night's Dram takes High West flagship Rendezvous Rye, and finishes it in a combination of ruby and tawny port barrels. Now, when you hear 10 or 25 years or another milestone of that magnitude, in today's whiskey world, it means one thing: special release. So in honor of the 10th anniversary of a Midwinter Night's Dram, High West has also released this limited edition variant as a distillery exclusive named the Encore. This is also Rendezvous Rye as its base, with a blend of rye whiskeys receiving a finish in white port barrels. That's right, guys, 2 this year. Let's try them both on the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I am Jason C. from the Mash and Drum, and welcome back to the show. High West has gone through some noted changes recently, renaming its American Prairie Bourbon to High West Bourbon back in August. Then they had the relaunch of their Campfire blend, and probably the biggest thing for High West in the last couple of years is slowly using more of its own make whiskey into its blends. They have also launched some new products on a larger scale, like the American Single Malt High Country, and discontinued a special release in Yippee-Ki-Yay. But the ever popular Rye and Midwinter's Night's Dram stay. I mean, if Midwinter's went away, I mean, it would be anarchy. But luckily, both are still here with this special one-off edition, the Encore. But before we get into the details, let's hear from today's video sponsor, a product you gotta have before the holidays hits, guys. It's ZBiotics. Today's sponsor is ZBiotics, guys. Glad so many of you keep reaching out to me, telling me what a great product it is. You're absolutely loving it. It's a product I've been talking about for the last couple months, using it behind the scenes on live streams, barrel picks, bottle shares. But I think it's not just for that. It's also for folks who just want to go out, enjoy some drinks, and just still want to be really productive the next day. ZBiotics is a probiotic drink that breaks down the byproduct of alcohol, which is most responsible for rough mornings after drinking. So when you drink, a toxic byproduct of alcohol builds up in your belly. It's that byproduct, not dehydration, that causes you to feel kind of terrible the day after drinking. ZBiotics produces an enzyme like the one your liver uses to break down that byproduct. So before my Wednesday night live streams, at any time I think I'm gonna have a few drinks, I take ZBiotics, and the next day I'm still super productive. I get back to work, I make more content, I get back in the gym, and I just feel great the next day. All you do is drink one of these about an hour before you start drinking, and that's it. Of course, you should still drink water like you normally would, get a good night's sleep, but ZBiotics makes it that much easier to feel great the next day. So why does it work so well? Well, ZBiotics is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It's real science, it works, there's no random plant extracts, no off-the-shelf ingredients, 100% money-back guarantee, no sugar added, it's all natural. I know you want it, and here's how you get it. Get ZBiotics right now for 15% off by clicking the link below in the description. I recommend getting the 6-pack to start. They also have a 3-pack, they have a 12-pack. Listen, Halloween parties are coming up, the holidays are coming up, special occasion season is here, so this is a great time and a great deal. You have a couple of extra to share with your friends and family as well. So click that link below in the description box and use code MASHANDDRUM at checkout, or go to zbiotics.com/mashanddrum and get 15% off on your first order. Thanks to ZBiotics and to all of you watching for making the sponsors happen. All right, so first we're gonna try the original variant of Midwinter's Night's Dram. It's the Batch 10. High West Rendezvous Rye, as I mentioned, finished in a combination of ruby and tawny port barrels. This one comes in at 49.3% ABV or 98.6 proof. It's non-age stated and priced this year at 150 bucks. It's going up. Okay, let's go to the nose here. You know, as much as you get all the port influence, you know, you get the dark fruits, you know, the plums, the grape, you still get that heavy, heavy cinnamon. I'm actually getting a little bit more nutmeg in this one, which is kind of nice. This, ever since they switched to their, you know, imparting their own distillate, you know, honestly, I wasn't crazy about them when they first started, when it was like, what was that, batch 6 or 7, something like that. But man, have they gotten, I loved last year's, they have gotten progressively better. This one so far on the nose, it's pretty there. It's dark, it's rich, and you get a lot of the rye spice too. I mean, that quintessential mintiness that you get from the Rendezvous Rye is really nice. And there's almost like a Fig Newton thing going on in here. I mean, it's Christmas in the glass. There's really no other way to put it. But let's see if it's getting a little bit darker and richer from the previous batches. Here we go. It's almost coming off like a mulled wine cider type thing. A lot of cinnamon. And when people weren't looking, they threw some black pepper all up in there. Because it's got all the spice. It's got a lot of, you know, of the port characteristics here. But the port wine characteristics here, the tawny and the ruby port, isn't overpowering the rye. It's complementing it. It's balancing it out. And sometimes you have these in certain years that the port really overtakes it. Now, I have Scene 4. So Scene 4 is the one that I got, and it's, you know, it's got all the things you would expect from a Midwinter Night's Dram. But I think it's got a little bit more on the rye side. It's not as fruit forward. But again, first sip. Man, that's got a nice finish on it. Like I said, it's just raisin and like Fig Newton, and I think a Fig Newton is a really good way to describe this for me, because you know, you get like the dark fruit flavor, but then because of it being a rye, you get like that little bit of a breadiness. So I feel like Fig Newton is like perfect for this. But it's also very, you know, it's grapey, it's sweet, but then you kind of combine all those, the nutmeg and the cinnamon all together. This is a nice one this year. Yeah, for me this is good, guys, because it's not, the rye is still there. It provides you the really good spice that you want. It's not overpowering on the port finish side. I mean, I know these are really hard to get, but if you guys have a chance to get one this year and you're a fan of Midwinter Night's Dram, or if you're just a fan of finished ryes, and I've been saying, what have I been saying the last couple weeks, guys? I think finished ryes do better than finished bourbons. I don't know what it is, but I think finished bourbons, you know, they could be really good, but I think it's already sweet. I think when you combine some sweet flavors from a good finish with the spice of a rye, get a really nice, good balance. That's what you got here. Then the best part, it stays consistent. Yeah, that's a good one this year. Stay tuned for details on Friday's episode of what we're gonna do with this bottle, so it should be fun. All right, now we're gonna try the Encore batch of Midwinter's Night's Dram. The Encore likewise uses the Rendezvous Rye as its base, with a blend of rye whiskeys receiving a finished in white port barrels, non-age stated, and also priced at 150 bucks. The only caveat with this one is High West General Store and distillery only release is where you're gonna be able to get these. But I've already seen these marked up to about 350 bucks on the secondary market, which sucks. So here we go. So when you compare these, yeah, this gives you a completely different experience, at least on the nose. With the Midwinter's Night's Dram Encore, when you're talking about white port, you're getting to more of like a stone fruit characteristic. You're getting into more pear and apple. But I will say, I think the caramel and the cinnamon stay. You know, if there's one attribute from the original one that moves over to the Encore. But man, pear and apple all day long. You get a little bit of that grapiness too, but yeah, it's a different experience. At least on the nose. This is like poached pears. Like if you took pears and you just poached them in cinnamon. Maybe a little bit of that, what is it, star anise? You got a little bit of like a slight licorice-y note in here too. You know, I hate black licorice, but I don't mind this licorice. All right, let's try it. The cinnamon, the star anise, the black pepper, the black tea, I get it a lot more in the Encore than I do in the standard Midwinter's Night's Dram. Oh, but there it is. That second sip. That's where that poached pear, candy apple just kind of laid down and just sat on the tip of my tongue. That's nice. That's a nice little variation here. I mean, you kind of go back and forth between the light and the dark. It's a nice yin and yang. You have this one that's all the dark fruits and the Fig Newton and the mulled wine. And then you come back to this one, it's just all pear and yeah, I don't know which one I like more. You know, you tend to lean towards the new one because you haven't had it before. And I think I am leaning that way. It's kind of a refreshing finish on the Midwinter Night's Dram when you I just love the white port notes that's going on in here. That poached pear and apple and heavy cinnamon, the star anise, that black tea note, and both of these have killer finishes, which is something I was a critic of Midwinter Night's Dram. I was like, this is not a rye, it drinks too easy. But these have really good spice to it, really good balance. So what I'm gonna do Friday, so this Friday's episode, I'm gonna take Midwinter Night's Dram, I'm gonna put it in a quadruple base, or a fatal four-way, however you wanna call it. It's gonna be Midwinter Night's Dram in a blind versus the Sagamore Port Finish Rye, the Port Peri Peri from Foregate, and the Old Scout Port Finish Rye as well. So all four of those, you have a pretty good variant of price points from, you know, Old Scout Port Peri Peri all the way up to the Foregate, all in between. We will see who does Port Finish Rye best. Let's go to the final breakdown on both of these. All right, so let's final break down both of these. You have the original, you have the Encore. Both of them price 150 bucks. Secondary value on these, you'd normally see these for anywhere from 200 to 250 on the original, but the Encore I've been seeing up to about 350, you know, because it's even more of a limited engagement than the original one is. All right, availability, you know, they're both limited, as you guys would know, they're both limited engagements, but the High West Encore is even more limited because it's only a High West general store and distillery only release. When it comes to value, I think the Encore, being a 10th anniversary release, I was really surprised to hear that it's the same price as the regular High West. So I would have to probably break it down like this. I think the Encore is actually an even value. I like it at 150 bucks. It's a 10-year anniversary. And I'm just going off of prices that we're seeing in the market. You guys know how everything is going up. Even though this has gone up in recent years, 150 bucks for a 10-year anniversary, you would think they would have priced it at 200, 250, and they didn't. They kept it the same price as the High West. Now, for the regular High West, 150, I'm thinking it's a little bit below average because there are so many people doing port finishes on ryes now. And like I said, Friday we're gonna find out just how good this Midwinter's is. The most I'd pay, I mean, I wouldn't want to pay more than 150 for either of these. If I had to pay a little more to get the Encore just because it's a special release, I might, maybe. I do like the flavors of it. It's a different take on Midwinter Night's Dram. But generally, you know, retail is where I'll stay. Is this a recommend? So, I'm gonna say definitely yes for the Midwinter Night's Dram. I think this is one of the better releases that they've had in recent years. So if you missed other years, you haven't grabbed one, I think you're really gonna like this year's. But it is rye forward. So if you're expecting the real, like the fruit forward, the easy sipping High West Midwinter Night's Dram of old, that is not what's in this bottle. This is it drinks a little bit higher proof than what it is. I think it's got a real nice spice, long finish, good flavors to it. This is where I want it to be every single year. So that's a yes. All right, so the Encore. Now when it comes to the Encore, most of us are not gonna be able to get this bottle. I was able to get one because amazing person in Utah was able to help me get one. But this bottle, if you don't know someone in Utah, you're gonna maybe have to pay, you know, a secondary market value to get it. So if you're looking at 300, 350 bucks at retail, I love it. $150, I think it's great. I love that they kept it at that price. If you could get it at that price, then yeah, get it all day long. But if you're looking at 350 for this, if you want it as a collectible, I get it. But if you're looking to buy and drink it, if you're able to get this or some of the other, you know, port finish ryes that are out on the market today, I think you'll be fine. I don't think it's worth going up that much money to get this this bottle. But if you get it retail, it's a really nice and just different take on the regular Midwinter Night's Dram. All right, well, thanks for watching this review for a Midwinter Night's Dram Batch 10 and the new Encore, the 10-year anniversary release. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Do all the things you need to do. And let me know down in the comments if any of you have gotten either or both. Let me know what you guys think of them, if you're getting the same notes that I was. And before we go, I'm gonna just blend both of them because that's what I do. We're just gonna call this the second Encore. Man, that's good. That smells amazing on the nose. You know what? I'm still getting the pear and the apple from the Encore. All right, let's try it. That works. That's delicious. Holy shit. I might blend both of these just together and make it one big Midwinter Night's Dram. Encore 2. If any of you guys got both of these, blend them. Amazing. All right, guys, as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers. The Encore 2. Do it.